Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm comparing the new Flexcut Pro Series knives to the old ones. And you might be asking yourself, Alec, the Pro Series just came out a few months ago. Yes, that's right. And ironically, there's a new Pro Series knife blade. And actually there's more than one change to the blade. And so we're going to talk about that in this video. And I'm actually going to be doing a little side-by-side comparison of the old versus the new and see if this new update that's been made to the tools, here's the old one, here's the new one, is a merited, improvement, is worth buying if you've got the old one. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. So this knife here, this one here, was released a few months ago. I can't remember the exact timeline of it, but I got my hands on some. Flexcut sent a box of the new knives, and I tested them on this channel, and without more than a few minutes of use, the tip snapped off. And many of you in the comments posted that you had the same experience. In fact, a lot of you did, and I was reading about that in my comments and other people's comments. Others had good luck with the blades. So I made another video following up about the break because just after I filmed the video, I had the whole freaking tip of the blade snap off. So that said, I let that be what it was, and Flexcut reached out, and they said, actually, ironically, the guy who made the knives reached out, really nice dude named Matt, said totally an error in tempering. So that was my suspicion to begin with, and he said we've resolved the issue and we've been working on replacing the blades for stores and various people who have purchased the knives. So they're making it right, and I had a lot of respect for them, first of all, just to admit that they messed up, and two, to fix the problem. I mean, in manufacturing, I imagine it's hard to get things dead on. So I'm grateful that they did that and reached out. So funny enough, there's multiple changes to the blade that I wanted to talk about, including form factor and steel quality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this in real time and see if we get any snap, crackles, or pops. The new one, that is. We've already tested the old one. We know what's going on with it. But this is what really struck me. Look at this. The blade size is totally the same, but the handle is considerably smaller. I remember picking the new Flexcut tool up a few months ago, and I guess the new old one, and thinking, man, this is a hefty handle. And I've got pretty decently sized hands, right? Average male hands. I don't have small hands. And I thought, you know what, this is quite big. So I don't mind that. But it looks like what they did was they actually took the form factor of the handle down in this new iteration. And believe it or not, yeah, this is the same knife. This is the 1 3/8" detail knife, which, to be perfectly transparent, I would probably choose over the larger 1 5/8" carving knife, right? This is considered a detail knife, although I would do probably most of the work with the 1 3/8" detail knife, which is my personal preference. All right, let's test it out. Well, the finish is very nice. Just looking at it, just giving a quick glance at the polish. The polish actually looks a little nicer than on the last blade. Less scratches. Flexcut's really great at finishing tools. I mean, they just have tools that come sharp, and that's something that a lot of tool companies can't say, unfortunately. Even Stubai, which is a tool company that I've loved and used and even sold, I would have to sharpen them before I'd ship them out to folks. So it's nice that they come razor sharp. Definitely sharper than Beavercraft. Definitely, a good thing if you're starting out in carving and you don't know what sharp is. This is really going to help set the standard for what sharp is. And man, is it ever sharp. I mean, it is really sharp. Look at the way listen to that. Right zipping through that wood, no problem at all. So far so good. So what I want to do is I want to put it through the paces that I put the initial release, the early release Flexcut Pro Series detail knife through, which involved a little bit of work with the tip, and my goodness, we all know how that worked out. So let's see what we can do here with this one. And really, I was disappointed about the Flexcut not being great because, you know, there's just not a lot of available knives in this category, in this kind of pro level category where you've got a full flat grind, you've got a good temper, and a tool that's going to hold an edge. I mean, like, all of those handmade, those custom makers of knives are really expensive. And so it's kind of become more untouchable in recent years to get a really nice pro level blade. You know, most folks out there using Flexcuts are used to a semi-grind, basically a bevel. And, you know, pro carvers, we're not looking for a blade with a bevel. So it's just really nice to see that they've come up with this blade. And so a huge disappointment when it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, or it was cracked up more than it was supposed to be. All right, enough dad jokes. You get the point. I'm going to just do a little digging in here. This is really what the problem was last time. Anytime I put that tip into the material, you'd see a little snap. Well, maybe not any time, but it did happen in a video where I really don't feel like I was doing anything crazy with it. So let's see if I can dig in the inside corner of the eyes here. See what happens with that. And it really is pretty unusual of Flexcut to have temper issues. I've not really noticed any serious flaws in the Flexcut tools that I've used in recent years. I do think Flexcut has gotten better since when I was a kid, at least. I was not a fan of Flexcut as a brand, and in the last, again, few years since they've come up with the Mallet tools and they've been putting out new products, I don't know if it's me or if it's them, but I've just noticed that the quality has improved of their products. So that's been cool to see. Especially, you know, an American-made product like this, I think it's really neat to see, you know, that there are products being made in the U.S. still. Because most of the kind of corner of the carving market is in Europe. Like, the good blades are typically either Swiss or German. And so it's cool to see a good company coming out of the United States that's actually affordable. Like, this blade, I'm not going to mess this up, but I think this blade is like $40, a little under 40 bucks. And I will link this blade in the description below as well. So let's see what we got here. All right, so we've got this line for the eye. And, you know, I do want to do a follow-up on this blade. And really, you know, I mean, we're going to learn a lot in this video because we learned a lot in the last video as far as the old Pro Series is concerned. You know, I mean, if it can't handle carving this face, that's a true testament to the fact that it hasn't been improved. But we'll learn a lot more over time. Just as I continue to use this blade, it'll kind of reveal itself, the quality of the tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a follow-up video in a little while. Of course, if anything happens before then, I'll definitely let you guys know if, you know, if something breaks or snaps before, you know, that time in the near future with the follow-up. You know, absolutely clue you guys in to prevent you from buying something that isn't going to be worth your while. Okay, I think this is where the tip broke last time around the mustache, but I could be mistaken. Let's do a nice deep stop cut here. Really put this thing through its paces. Yeah, edge is holding up really nicely. You could even see a little bit of checking in the tip of the blade. In the last knife, the original one that they brought out a few months ago. And yeah, so far, definitely not seeing the same issues, thank God. A little V-cut for the mustache. You can see I'm just carving a little wood spirit. Figured I might as well utilize the time to make something. Let's see how that tip is behaving. No lines, no weird imperfections as I'm pushing this blade through the material. Nice, shiny. I don't know if you can see the reflective quality of that cut, but it's a nice cut. Yeah, guys, this is really cool. This is encouraging to see. I'm not seeing any serious problems with the blade at this point. Again, way too early to tell, but it's not too early to tell that there isn't as serious a flaw as there was in the original release. So again, that tells me that a real improvement has been made. It's not just, you know, some sort of cosmetic difference. It's definitely a change in manufacturing process here. That's really, really cool. As far as the handle size, I don't know. I don't mind the thicker handle style or size. Let me hold this for a bit. Let me work with the old one. Yeah, I don't mind the bigger handle, to be honest. Do I prefer the smaller handle? That's a good question. There's something that's a little bit more nimble about the smaller handle. It feels a little bit more maneuverable, which I do appreciate. So, I don't know. I'm going to call it a draw between the two as far as the handle size. I think I do appreciate, though, the smaller handle on the detail. Let's see if the new Pro Series other blades here, like the 1 5/8 carving knife, have the same small handle. I'm looking at it and it looks bigger. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely bigger. Definitely bigger than the original. Let me see if I can find the original 1 5/8 and compare. Okay, so here's the new blade. This is the 1 5/8, and here's the old. Okay, they're the exact same size. I mean, really, there might be actually, let's see. No, these are the same size, same form factor, same shape, the new and the old. You know, it looks like, honestly, there's a little difference in the grind angle, too, at the top. Notice how the old version on the left here, as I'm pointing to it, has a bit more of a point to the tip, and the new version is a little bit more rounded at the tip. That's smart, just in terms of preventing that tip from busting off. So that could be part of what they did to adjust this. Let's try this guy out, this big 1 5/8 carving knife. No, this is good. Yeah, same type of thing. The detail knife might have been a tiny bit sharper, but no, I don't know about that. This is pretty good. Oh yeah, no, I think that might have been a little sharper, the detail. But either way, this is plenty sharp. Okay. This one needs a little stropping, I think, though. All right, let's try our. Let's try that long guy, that 2-inch blade. Let's give this a shot. I haven't tried the new 2-inch blade, and if you remember in the last video, I was really happy with the way that 2-inch cut. It was really gliding nicely. Yeah, and so again, the biggest difference here between the old and the new profile is the sharpness of that tip. I think that was a problem that they were experiencing there. They made that tip a little too pointy. This one's got a slight rounded nose to it. Very subtle. Oh yeah, yeah, that's nice. Very sharp. Again, I'm not a huge fan of a blade this long. I don't really see myself using this for the type of carving that I do. But you know, those of you out there who carve maybe Sloyd or something, you know, requiring a bigger blade, I could see this being cool for sure. I'm really not having any issues with the tips being the way they are now, the new profile. So good stuff. Glad to see it, Flexcut. I'm excited to kind of do some update videos on this. I could talk about this for hours, but I don't want to make this video longer than it needs. Not having any problems with this blade. It's very encouraging. And so, yeah, good stuff. So far, biggest differences are just in that detail blade. So if you buy the detail blade, you're going to experience, well, let's see, they also put a detail blade in this 3-piece set. So let's see what we've got here. So these are both new blades. Well, look at that. They're a different size. Wow, okay, so what this means is that if you buy the Pro Series single blade, if you get the detail knife on its own, right? Let's see, here it is, sorry, I lied to you. If you get oh, this is the slim handle precision detail knife set. Okay, so what they did is they made a smaller version of it. I didn't even read that packaging properly. So if you buy this 2-piece set, which has the chip carver and the detail knife, it's going to give you that smaller handle size. Let's just try out for all you chip carvers out there, the 1-inch chip carver in the thin-handled set. Yeah, you know, I actually really like the feeling of that smaller blade, or the smaller handle. I don't know, they're both nice, but there's some advantages to having a more nimble, maneuverable handle. It does feel like you can kind of hold it almost more like a pencil. All right, let's do a little chip cut style stuff here. One more cut over here. That should come right out. Boom. Nice. Yep. Little V-cut. Sweet. No problems with the first couple cuts, which is to be expected. You'd really hope you wouldn't see problems that quickly, but it's definitely sharp. I mean, this thing it's nice and sharp. It's not leaving any scratches or any weirdness, which is always nice to see. Yeah. No, that's good stuff. Get a better grip on that. All right, so to conclude this, I just wanted to say, nice job, Flexcut. The new blades seem to be an improvement. I'm not seeing any flaking of the tip, any breaking, any scratches in the blade edge. So it seems the temper has also been improved on these new Flexcut Pro Series. And that's to be expected from Flexcut. They're an awesome maker of knives in my experience. They do a good job. And so anyway, that said, very happy to continue to test this out, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. But in the meantime, it's looking bright. It's looking hopeful for this new Flexcut Pro Series adjustment. So kudos to them. Another round of applause to them for acknowledging that they made a mistake in the manufacturing of their last products, or that there were some issues with it. whether it was a mistake or not. Who knows what happened there. Anyway, that said, thanks for watching, guys. Take your vitamins, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.